Okay there, singing world. This video will offer Italian pronunciation help for the aria Vissi d'arte from Puccini's Tosca. We will explore the tips and tricks to help you sing your aria without accent and also discuss the proper open and closed vowels and non-phonetic things such as phrasal doublings and assimilation. But before we do that, please direct your attention to the description of this video below. I have listed the text to this aria with all the non-phonetic things written out, the assimilations, the phrasal doublings, and the open vowels. Also, there are assorted links to my various websites, my Facebook fan page, and most importantly, the pronunciation dictionary known as the RAIDOP. RAIDOP. You may follow the link below, or if you're typing a Google search or any search engine, you can type in RAI Dizionario or RAIDOP and the site will come up. On this site you can pretty much put in any word and it will tell you whether the word is open or closed. There's a playback button with a native Italian speaker saying the word. Besides that, what I love about it is it acknowledges the existence of non-phonetic Italian, phrasal doublings, assimilations, things like that. They have whole lines of text with the playback button, so you can see all of this in action. I highly recommend it. I've been using it for years. It's been around for a long time. It's called the DOP RAI. So tremendous resource. Check it out. So this is Vissi d'arte from Tosca, and if you're in an argument about the pronunciation of the title of the opera, that first O can be either open or closed. The closed one is now the preferred pronunciation, but if you argue, especially Romans will say that it's open. So it doesn't really matter either way. It's Tosca or Tosca, whatever strikes your fancy. Okay, so let's go through the text. We will go word by word, and we'll examine every single thing that happens between the double R's, the open and closed vowels, the assimilations, and also a lot of the common mistakes I hear when people sing this aria. So let's begin, shall we? So, Vissi. So when you speak, you can hiss this S, because it's a double S, Vissi. When you sing, you have to separate. So the first note is all V, and the second note is all Si. So Vissi. Okay, so how you sing S is very good for, in the theater, can be very good for your legato, or you can just not phonate. Let's go on. D'arte. So this has a rolled R. The rule for rolled R's and flipped R's, rolled R's are any R's that touch a consonant or are doubled. Final R is often rolled when you stop. Final R will not be rolled if the next word starts with a vowel. Okay, so all R's that are surrounded by vowels are flipped, on the other hand. So at the end of this line, d'amore has a closed O and the flipped R, right? It's not d'amore. So d'arte, the R rolls because it touches a T. D'amore, because it's surrounded by vowels, it is flipped. So to roll an R, you must have pitch on the R. So as you're singing, you actually could sing the whole first line on R, like that, right? So when you come to the R in d'arte, you're still singing the pitch on that note. Okay? So rolled R has the pitch of the note that you're singing. D'amore, let's talk about that. There's a single M and there's a single R, and then there's a stressed O that is closed. Okay? So there's a lot to talk about in this one word. Amore. Often I hear amore with two M's, or even worse, amore. Right? Unless you're from Naples, the way you say amore is one M and a flipped R, a closed O in the middle. Okay, so now let's go over the rules for open and closed vowels. So there are only two non-phonetic vowels in Italian, and that is the open O and the open E. right? So the closed D and the closed O are phonetic, right? They're exactly as they're printed in IPA, exactly the same symbol. So what I mean by closed E is A, like in hey, without the glide. And open E is at, like as in head, without the glide. And what I mean by glide is when we speak in English, our vowels become unpure because we move our jaw, right? So when we say pure, the R not only bleeds into the oo, and there's a glide at the beginning, our jaw moves. Head, if I did it in slow motion, it's head. And at the end, there's an I at it. Say, right? So close D. We chew and we change the vowel. Italian does not do that. It's very doesn't harmonize, right? So a, o, a. So these closed vowels in amore, they do not get influenced by anything. The o does not get influenced by the r. Okay, so a closed o is with either o as in oats, right? Is o in oats, and an open o is aw, like aw, right? Without the glides of again, right? So the rules for open and closed are, if we look at the stressed of the words, right, and the unstressed, the good news is all of the unstressed syllables are closed vowels. Okay, so anything that is a closed is on an unstressed syllable is a closed vowel. We only have to worry about the stress. Now the bad news is that the stress can either be open or closed, and you have to memorize. There are pretty much no rules. There are certain formulas on certain verb forms, certain parts of speech that always remain open or closed. You can memorize those formulas, but other than that, most words you will have to memorize. So you're only worrying about the accented syllable and whether it's open or closed, right? So again, all of the non-accented syllables are closed. So in the word amore, O is the accented syllable. That's the one we worry about. And in this case, it happens to be closed. The unstressed E is closed, A. So we know that right away. Okay, so let's go on. So now you have non, which is closed, N-O-N, and you have feci, which is also closed. Single ch. Double C would be feci, double C, right? Feci, single ch. This is when you memorize the stressed E is closed. Now, when an N precedes a fricative, an F or a V, something happens. Now watch my mouth as I do this. Non feci, non feci. So very quickly, what happened there was you're going to say a fricative. When you say a fricative, you're right. So F and V. The bottom lip touches the top teeth like that, right? So the N does what's called an assimilation, and it goes on that bottom lip. So it goes by really fast. Non feci. Okay, did you see that? So what if I were to put that N in my mouth and I tried to sing legato? This is what would happen. Say I do the N with the tip of my tongue, right? Well, I usually do N, tip of my tongue. Non feci. So what happens is I attempt to make legato. I have to keep some vowel going. So what I end up with is a shadow vowel, right? So that's what you don't want at the beginning of this aria is non feci. Does that make sense? So watch again. Non feci goes by so fast it stays on the bottom lip, and you keep your legato. Non feci, non feci goes right by like that. Okay, so if you exaggerate it and you allow phonation on that bottom lip, it's going to be too much and you're going to get caught doing it. So if you do this is also wrong, right? Non feci, and you wait, then it becomes exaggerated and it becomes actually kind of inelegant, right? So you want the one that's right in the middle that goes straight past. Now this aria has a ton of these things, so we're going to examine them all as we keep going. Okay, so that's the first trick at the beginning to keeping your legato. Let's go on. Mai, right? So there's no harmonization in that word. It's a-e. My. There's not really, Americans tend to do a Y sound that's in English for my, right? It's too closed. My. It's two separate vowels that go by fast. The semi-vowel is just a very quick vowel. It's still a vowel. Okay, so going on. Male. In this word, we have a single L, right? And the E is closed, again, because it is in the unaccented position. The accent is on A. So, male. So the L is single. How do I do double L? Let's do the opposite. Male. So the double L is one of those consonants that requires phonation, right? So you stay on it. You allow the tongue to stay in the L position while you phonate. That makes a double L. To make a single L, you do not allow that phonation, right? Male. Now, when I speak, I can do a pretty short ah. As I'm singing, male. So, how do I get rid of double L if I'm getting that note, right? Say I keep going male, male, right? And I keep getting that note, there's a double L. Well, if you just practice vowels and figure out, actually memorize the sensation, right? And no glottal at all between vowels, very legato. Okay, so now you memorize that sensation. It should feel exactly the same when it's single L. Male. Okay, so that's the way to practice. So let's go on. This is really the word The D is in there just for beautification. Anima. Anima would be ugly, right? So anima, the D is in there for beauty. Anima. Here's a good word for single consonant, single N, single M. So the principle for double M is exactly the same as single N, same for M. So if you tend to double this, you'll be going anima, or doubling both, anima, right? So what happens is when we get excited as Americans, we tend to go for consonants, and Italians tend to go for vowels when they get excited, right? So if you're being expressive, you might find yourself doubling without wanting to these consonants. So again, how you get rid of it is right? So you just practice vowels. Anima. Going on, viva. Again, we're all single consonants. So this is why the beginning of this aria sounds so legato, right? Okay, going on. Now, these first two words, we have two different ending assimilations. Both of these ends assimilate. And I've written them in my own way with IPA, because the first one actually turns into an M, and the second one is the one that we did in the non feci, furtiva, same thing, right? So, let's do the furtiva first. So, again, you're going to say a fricative, furtiva. Note the position of my bottom lip, furtiva, right? So, the N goes right on that bottom lip, furtiva, and goes right by really fast. Nobody notices it, and it's super legato, right? Again, you're not going to go manna furtiva, as we explained in that last line. Okay, great. So now let's look at C-O-N-M. What happens N before M? So you're going to say an M. So M's and B's and P's are done this way, but all of them require your lips coming together, right? Padre, madre, right? And bello, right? Bello. Madre, right? All of them, lips together. So this one, man, right? So, con man. So what happens? Single M. So those two consonants came together. The N assimilates into a single M. Con man. Now, again, if I were to put the N in my mouth, what would happen? Con man. Right? And this is especially dangerous because this line, if you sang both ends in your mouth, you get this. con man furtiva. See what happens? Both of those shadow vowels occur, right? So if you want the smooth one, it's con man furtiva. Again, right? Straight through. And I know my singing is terrible, right? So first one is a single M. The next one is the N before the F on the bottom lip only. So it's a good line to practice. Okay? Going on. Furtiva. So it's U, I, A. It's always good to practice the vowels to see what they are when they have no influence. They have no harmonization. The R is not going to make the first syllable rhyme with fur, right? Fu, fur, furtiva, right? Not furtiva. That's what we do. We neutralize in English, right? So A is always A. Furtiva. And R rolls, it touches a T. Let's go on. This is no stone unturned, one word at a time. Okay. Quante. Quante. Okay, so the N touches the T. And again, N does whatever the next consonant does, right? So this is just a plain old N with the tip of the tongue, but it leads right up to the T. Quante. Now, single N in the middle of vowels never does that, right? We had that anima. It's not anima, right? But this N for quante, and this is almost never discussed, right? People either understand this or they don't. I haven't seen this discussed in any book anywhere, but N's that touch consonants sing, right? Quante. So the QU, right? The difference between English K and Italian K. Well, K and G are related. How? Well, K is unvoiced and G is voiced, right? So if I go G, it's the same as K. It's just that K has no phonation, right? I need a vowel, right? If I go K, K, there's not going to be any note on that, right? But if I go G, 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 right? There's a little bit of a note on that. There's a little bit of a phonation, right? So when you do quante, it's not quante with air through it, but it's from, if you practice doing guante, like a G, guante, quante, and just getting it to the point where it's unvoiced, right? So there's sort of like a pole, right? And there's a way over here, it's really unvoiced. Quante, quante, as you go towards G, and then it becomes G. Well, it's that point right before it becomes G. And all of the unvoiced Italian consonants are like this for singing, right? So this is good for lyric diction, to try to stay as close to the voiced as possible. Quante, quante. Let's go on. Misɛrie. So here we have a stressed vowel that is open. We have a flipped R because it's between two vowels. We have a semi-vowel, rie, right? So, and then misɛrie. So the last E is A because it's in the unaccented position. Remember, we're only worrying about the accented vowels. Okay, so now one other tip is you will see in the diction books like Evelina Colorni's Singer's Italian, the green book you probably had in diction class, that she opens the endings. She did this first in her book before Nico Costel did it in his books, right? And by the time we got into Nico Costel's books, it got exaggerated into a and ah instead of what people noticed when singers started to record, especially Italian singers, the beginning of the 20th century, that the endings tended to be opened. It didn't mean that they were sung as open vowels, but they were open. So speech was A and O, but when they sang A and O, like the stretch of shouting. So Colorni, she opened the ending vowels. Okay, in no way did she coach you to be closed. right? I mean to be open to the point of and aw. It's actually impossible for singing. So I've had a lot of success with people who have been opening the endings to persuade them to close the endings. Immediately they'll say, "Oh my God, that's so much easier," right? So if you've been opening your endings, try them closed. You'll see the difference immediately. It's better for the inertia of singing. It's better to stay on one track. It's better for your resonance. Okay, let's go on. So now you have conobbi. So you have two B's, you have one N, and everything is closed. So the stressed vowel in this word is closed, right? Conobbi. We, as Americans, we are champions at double B, right? Italians can hardly hear the difference single B, double B. The reason is you don't stop phonation on double B. Say conobbi, right? Not conobbi. I hear that a lot, right? O mio babbino, right? Double B. And even a double, next one is a double B too, right? So when you do double B, don't stop phonation. Conobbi, right? Going on. Ah is the first thing you say, not I. Aiutai. So it's ah. Aiutai. Does that make sense? Because we go aiutai. Ah. Right? So remember that. Practice that word from Sɛmpre. We have a stressed E, that's open. And then, of course, the non-stress is closed. Sɛmpre. Okay, so the M goes into the P. Sɛmpre. Again, it's completely legal to phonate that M. Okay, going on. Here is again the fricative N assimilation, right? Confe, right? So, in old-fashioned, you'll see this in the Colorni book is open. Now, in modern Italian, it's marked as closed. Fe. Okay, so fade, old-fashioned fe. So con fe ssincɛra. So ssincɛra, open E. So now we have our first strong monosyllable. Fe is a strong monosyllable. It causes a phrasal doubling, so there's a double S. Okay, we're going to go through weak monosyllables and strong monosyllables. There's a list of strong monosyllables in Evelina Colorni's book, about 4 or 5 pages from the end. She lists all of the strong monosyllables that cause phrasal doublings. You can also see this phenomenon on the RAI dictionary site, where they'll read a whole text and have phrasal doublings. So, ssincɛra, ssincɛra. So the N again goes into the ch. The E is stressed and open, and there's one R. Going on, la is a weak monosyllable, so it does not cause a phrasal doubling. So la and the weak monosyllables are actually easier to memorize because there are very few of them. You can count them on 2 hands. So la mia, not la mia. You often hear that too. We tend to, for some reason, we love to double after the word la, and it's not doubled. La mia. Preghiɛra. So here we have a word that we often open on the first syllable. Pre. It's preghiɛra, right? So the stressed one is open, and the first one, the unaccented one, is closed. The R is rolled. The first R is rolled. The second R is flipped. Good one for practicing rolled R, flipped R, right? Preghiɛra. So flipped R at the end. I, right? Not I, like the word I, right? I, santi. Again, the N going into the T. So the accent on this is nacoli, right? On the na, right? So the E preceding that is going to be A, right? Preceded and then followed by ernacoli. So we're going to do this. Ernacoli. Tabernacoli. Okay, so we go backwards when we have a lot of syllables, and that's this word. Okay, the R is rolled, it hits the N. The O is closed. unstressed. The E is also closed, unstressed. Salì. So here we have an ultimate accent, right? It's a little rarer. There are a lot of words that end on the last syllable, right? But the ones that end on the penultimate syllable are the most common in Italian. Okay, but here's one, salì. Going on, well, we said Sɛmpre, this line, so let's go on to Diɛdi, right? Not Diɛdi, but Diɛdi, open E on the stress. Fiori, so it is closed O. And often you'll see this word in poetry as fior, and if the next word is a consonant, it will roll, right? In this form, it's surrounded by vowels, so it flips. Stressed O, that's closed. Agl'altar, right, is really what agl'altar. So agl'altar, altar. So final R rolls at this case. The L phonates into the T. Let's go on. Nell'ora. Okay, so I'm starting to put two words together because they actually, kind of easier because they go together. So the L, again, to make double L, I have to exaggerate and hold my tongue in position and then phonate on it, right? The N-E-L is closed E. So let's talk about ora. Having to do with time, it's closed, right? Ora, orario. A lot of times you'll see or, now. And then you'll see or, which is gold. So if you see this in a truncated form, you have to make sure whether it's open or closed. Because if it's gold, then it's open. If it has to do with time, it's going to be closed. Del, D-E-L, single L, right? Del dolore, all closed, right? A-O-O. Everything in this line is a closed vowel. A-O-A-O-O. Dolore, flipped R, closed E. So now there's perchè. Here's another word that ends in the ultimate stress. When the ultimate stress is E, you have to memorize which ones are open and closed. You have things like perchè, open, right? Perchè, closed. Now what happens is when you end on a stress and the next word starts with a consonant, it's a doubling word. So you say perchè, perchè. See, so double P, right? Now we haven't had one double P like this before. So, and double T is done the same way. And also double K is done the same way. So how you do these three consonants, you go up to them and you make a space. You don't say them and then you say them. So to do double P or to do double T, let's do double T like tutto. That's a word you have very commonly in your aria, right? So what happens is I make a long U, tu, right? I stop phonation, tut. I go up to the T, I don't say it, tutto, and then I say the T. That's how I make a double T. I don't do two T's, right? So I don't do tutto, nor do I put air through it like I just did. There are not two T's, there's one T. The space makes the T. And if I'm being very expressive, I make a bigger space. I don't do it through the force of the T. So the space makes the expression, not the consonant itself. Tutto. And then, depending how much time I have, it's up to me when I want to do the second syllable, right? Tutto. When I speak, I could say tutto, right? So here we have perchè, perchè. Same thing. So perchè, go up to the P, don't say it. Perchè, perchè, Signore. And you see it, perchè doubled both words following it. So the first perchè doubles the second perchè, and then the next perchè doubles the S of Signore. So Signore has two things, right? Number one, it has a closed O, flipped R, but it has gno. GN is like gnore, right? Lasagna, like lasagna. Lasagne if you're Italian. Signore, gnore. Okay, so it's n with a Y. Gnore. Going on. So here's an interesting thing that happens next, right? So this line you have two strong monosyllables in the word in a row. Well, you have two strong doubling syllables in a row, right? So you have perchè and then you have me. Me is also a strong monosyllable. So me can double the N of ne, right? So you can say perché me ne rimuneri così, right? Or you can say perché me ne rimuneri così. But you can't double both the M and the N. So if you're looking at the text, you see the next one I have in parentheses, right? So you can't say perché me ne. It's just too much, right? So perché me ne, or perché me ne. One or the other, right? Not both. Okay. So rimuneri. So the accent is on the U, right? So rimuneri. So all single consonants, single M, single N, and flipped R. Così. So the accent is on the Z, so the O is closed. Let's go on. Diɛdi, single D. Right? How we make a mistake? Diɛdi, right? Make two D's. Diɛdi. Gioiɛlli. So this word has to go around in your face, right? So you talk about the neutral position of native speakers, right? So if you look at an American, neutral position for an American is I can't think of words. I'll go right? If I'm French, I'll be like this. In Italian, the neutral position is like, right? So it's up here. Hello, right? So gioielli, you have to be up there, right? So, and it also goes around gioielli. Okay, so it's very exaggerated to us, but you have to do that, especially when you sing. Della, gioielli, diɛdi, gioielli, della. Okay, all of that is going to be way up there. Madonna. So the stressed O, donna, is open. Al manto. Manto. Again, you have an N that touches a T. Now you have another strong monosyllable, A, which means and, it's closed. So the word A is closed, right? The word for is, it is, he is open. Okay? So make the difference. And if you're going to memorize words, these are the first two words you should memorize, right? So A is a strong monosyllable. E Diɛdi. So double D at the beginning, single D in the middle of the word. Il canto. Canto. Again, the N is on the roof of your mouth, the tip of your tongue, and it sings into the T. Agli, agliastri, agliastri. So gli. So GLI is gli, right? So it's ye preceded by an L. So if you do the second sound, ye, yi. Before that, ye, and I'm doing it in super slow motion, right? Goes by really fast, but all of these things happen. So agliastri. Notice that the R rolls because it touches the T. Now when I speak, I can say astri, and I can hiss that S. When I sing, in lyric diction, astri, astri, right? So you're going to elongate the first syllable, put the S completely on the next note. Al, ciel. So cielo is sky, right? Cielo, or heavens, right? Cielo, cielo, open. Cello is the string instrument. K is a strong monosyllable, so you can say che ne, double N, right? Now when you do these phrasal doublings, they are so slight, right? So don't go like you have a new religion and you're going to double consonants like crazy. If you exaggerate something that's good, it becomes vulgar, right? It's just like a little spice. It's like if you put salt in your food or you put hot sauce, right? Just enough to make it, not so it just tastes like salt, right? Che ne, just a touch, right? Okay. Now, here it's rideano. Rideano is the real word, right? Close D. What happens though, the O gets truncated for the poetry, and you have più, right? So you have a P. So the N is going to do that assimilation where it turns to a single M. Rideam più. And I did it slowly, right? Again, if you do it wrong, it'll be rideam più, and you're gonna linger on that and make a double M, right? And then the other thing again you could do is put the N in your mouth, ridean più, and then you get ridean più. You get an shadow vowel. Okay, good. Going on. Più is a strong monosyllable, and it makes a double B. But remember, double B's are dangerous. So if you say più bello, it's vulgar, right? Più bello, that's better, right? Più bello, not so good. Even worse, più bello, what I hear a lot. No double consonants whatsoever, right? It's più belli, pardon me, right? It's in the plural. Più belli. See, so nice double B, nice double L, right? And the E in belli is open. Okay, going on. Nothing in this line is open. Nell'ora del dolore. We've done this line already. Okay, and then we've done this line also, right? Except for there's just one difference, is that ssignore is truncated this time. There's no A at the end of it. And notice that the interjection a is added by Puccini this time, right, on the high notes, right? But see, so a is an interjection. It's a strong interjection, and it makes a double P. A perchè, right? So you can either say a perchè me ne rimuneri così, or you can say a perchè me ne rimuneri così. Either way, it works. Okay, so now let's go through and read whole lines and trying to find rhymes, trying to find the arc of the phrase. What I work with my clients is to find one down. So there's a long arc in the Italian sentence. Always starts with an upbeat, and it's like a wave crashing on the beach. Only it goes for a long time. It crashes in one place, right? So when people say you sing long lines, not only does that come from your breath support and your legato, but from your mind and your thought about how the poetry crashes, how the poetry lands, what is up and what is down. Okay, so let's do it. Vissi d'arte, vissi d'amore, non feci mai male ad anima viva. So there's a down, right? Furtiva, quante misɛrie conobbi aiutai. Down. Sempre con ssincɛra, la mia preghiɛra ai santi tabernacoli salì. Sempre con ssincɛra, Diɛdi fiori agl'altar. Nell'ora del dolore, perchè Signore, perché me ne rimuneri così? Or perché me ne rimuneri così? I doubled it both ways, right? So you have that choice. Diɛdi gioiɛlli della Madonna al manto. Notice that the ahs kind of go together, right? E diedi il canto agli astri al ciel che ne rideam più belli nell'ora del dolor, perchè Signor? Perché me ne rimuneri così? If you enjoyed this video, please like it, please share. I always welcome your comments, your suggestions, and your requests. And also, please remember to subscribe to my channel and always visit your coach.